guys, it's coffee time. I'm a little bit bummed, I'm not gonna lie, because I just did like 6 minutes of a coffee time, and Sherlock, Watson has yet to do this. But for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that Sherlock every now and then just really wants attention, and he just like shows up here, and maybe, you know, he sits on the keyboard, maybe he stretches out and just happens to roll onto the keyboard. I was like, no, stop. It was in slow motion. He like jumped up here and immediately just poof, just stepped on the keyboard, and I was so sad. It's like, why? Why? I'll never remember all the things that I talked about last time. Oh well. Also, if I sound a little bit hoarse, it's because I just went through a horrendous coughing fit. I have no idea where it came from. I'm assuming it was because I was screaming at T-Fall earlier. That seems to be the most likely reason for it. But, you know, yesterday I was saying that my throat was hurting, right? And then today, it's been totally fine. And I was like, cool, not an issue. It's probably just like too much AC, right? I've been leaving the AC on overnight. So maybe it's just too much breathing in of the AC. And then, just now, like, out of nowhere, I had this awful coughing fit. I was like chugging water, or trying to chug water. I can't chug things very well. I don't know if that's a common problem, but like, you know, in college, everybody, whether it's Mountain Dew or beer, I don't care what it is, everybody always likes to show off their chugging skills, and I'm not a person who can do that. Like, I just kind of like drink. I get teased because I drink things really slow. So to, you know, to add on to that issue of I drink extremely slow, I also just, I'm not incapable of chugging things, but when I chug things, like my brain starts to panic a little, like, what if I suffocate? It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why it happens, but yeah, chugging and I are not best friends. So there's a little piece of information for you. But yeah, so today I beat story mode on Monster Hunter, and I'm so excited about it. Because basically, like, Monster Hunter kind of goes on forever. Like, there are so many quests that you can go on, so many rank ups and craziness things that happen. Sorry. And then you also have just like normal story mode, which is like you have this little story where you're in a village and you're trying to save the village from these horrendous earthquakes. And if you can't save them, then they're going to have to evacuate, but it's their home and blah, 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 blah. So I beat that. I effectively beat the story mode of the game. And I'm so excited. But can I just say, like, that last boss is the worst. Like, not the worst. He honestly wasn't a hard fight at all. Like, he doesn't really attack you. That might be a spoiler. He, like, barely attacks you. But it's a very confusing fight. And there are win conditions that they don't entirely tell you about. So, like, when you fail a quest, the failure conditions pop up in a little window, right? Like, time's up. You didn't complete the quest in the amount of time that you were given. So this failure condition kept popping up like halfway through this quest, and I was like, I don't understand what this is saying. I've never seen this before in my life. And then I realized you have to break something on him before a certain point in this quest, which is so weird. It's so weird. So if you like break part of his body, basically, then he like switches directions and goes where you need him to go. But otherwise he goes a completely different direction. It's like, you failed to rout the monster. And you're like, what does that mean? What does this mean? I was getting so aggravated. So I failed that quest like, I don't know how many times. And then finally today, after I had done some like multi stuff, some like multiplayer higher rank quests, because I'm Hunter rank 3 now, so we can do high rank quests, which, by the way, difficulty level takes a harsh jump at that point. But yeah, after making my full on, any of you who don't know anything about Monster Hunter, you're just gonna hate. You're just gonna hate me after a while. You're gonna be like, can you stop? So I made my full hot Rathalos set, right? And then now that I'm doing like high rank quests, that set is like not doing anything for me, and it makes me so sad because it looks dope. I love it, but it just doesn't do enough for me. So I wound up spending some time yesterday and this morning making a Wroggi set, which is great. Like the Wroggi S set is amazing. It gives you you are completely immune to poison, has really high defense, like all these other stat ups that you get, and I'm just like, what? This is so great. Why can't my Rapala, like, and it looks like you're wearing no clothes. I hate that. I hate that. I hate it so much because, like, as somebody who routinely is like, this armor for women is real dumb. Can we all agree? Whenever you're playing a game and the really high-level armor is basically like lingerie, it irritates me for obvious reasons. And I can say pretty strong conviction that the armor sets for both men and women are super cool and make a lot of sense and are really awesome, and you just want all of them, right? So the fact that my Rathalos set that looks like it's just full on like you know, plate like made out of freaking like Rathalos scales and just like looks super dope and spiky, and the fact that that gives me less defense than like, oh, I've got like a little tiny shirt and a cape. Like, why? What? Like, I want to flip everything over. But yeah. Take it easy. Take it easy, self. Calm down. Okay. Dang it. Got too worked up. But yes. So that was oh, and I also have the Grimcat axe. Finally. The switch axe that like meows when you use it. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it so much. But then Path of Exile. Today, this weekend in general has been kind of filled with video games. So Path of Exile is dope. It's like super Diablo-esque. And I knew nothing about the concept of it. Basically, the idea is like you're given an option of a bunch of different classes, but they're personified by people that have done some sort of bad thing. Or bad thing according to like the society that deems it bad, right? And then as a criminal, you are sent to the Path of Exile, which is like this big island that is inhabited by the undead and monsters, and like it's just a horrible place. So they just take all of their criminals and just chuck them there, and they're like, here you go, try to live, basically. So you like show up there and you're trying to live. So I am a witch. I fell in love. Like this, I went through all of the classes, like in that little jail cell, and I was like, I have to be the witch. I have to be the witch. Templar is kind of dope too, I feel. But man, I had to go for the witch, and it's really, really, really fun so far. And I think that you know it's free to play aside from like microtransactions if you want them. I think if you're interested in something Diablo-y and you were disappointed by Diablo 3, then Path of Exile is really good. But yeah, did that, and then went over and played Towerfall for a while. I did not know that you could just bump into a person and steal an arrow. I never knew that. And Isaac kept doing it, and I was like, how are you getting arrows? You have no arrows. There's no arrows on the ground. Like, you didn't catch an arrow. And he was like, oh, well, I bumped into her and took her arrow. And I was like, what? I didn't know you could do that. It blew my mind. So, basically, my day, what I'm trying to say is my day was filled with video games, and it was excellent. So happy. Ugh. Oh, by the way, can I also say about Path of Exile, the talent tree is crazy. Play that game just for the talent tree. Just so that you can look at that thing and be so overwhelmed that you want to die. Because it's just like, huh? What do I do with this? It's crazy. It's craziness, you guys. But, yeah. That was my day, really. And then having the coughing fit, that also happened. That was very sad. But, yeah, I hope that you guys had a good day and a good weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.